Hi, this will be the first in a video series where I share my experience with powder coaters in the Greater Toronto area. Now, I promise you I won't be long-winded, but if you have stumbled across this video because you're in search of a powder coater, you probably want to hear all the details. This is especially true if the parts that you need powder coated are your replaceable parts / collectibles. Now, before I go ahead and introduce you to the people behind SideCoating and Air's powder coating, I guess I should briefly talk about how I got these guys involved in the first place and the scope of my project. Back in April, I had about 130 pieces in 3 batches that I need powder coated. They need to be coated in specific powder, and that's why I provided SideCoating with my own powder. For the most part, these pieces are fabricated parts, and just under 2 dozen of them are collectibles. They are irreplaceable parts. The irreplaceable parts that they end up damaging. Now, even with my fabricated parts, they were either spoiled, damaged, or simply lost. What I mean by spoiled is that my parts were supposed to be powder coated using the provided powder. But for some reason, these guys decided not to use my powder and went with their own powder, essentially spoiling my parts. Now, this Sugi character, which I'll get to in a minute, he was the one responsible for my parts. He was the one who spoiled my parts. And he actually had the audacity in the beginning to try to ask me to strip the parts myself and bring them back to him so he could redo them to clean up his mess. He figured that wasn't going to happen, so he tried to sand it down, sand off the crap that he put on, and but the whole time I insisted that I need my parts chemically stripped. What you're seeing right now is the footage that I took in their office on the morning of September 14, right when I was about to pick up my second batch, the white batch, which Sugi messed up. Now remember, September 14 is almost 4 months after we have made an agreement, we have made a deal to go ahead with my project. To be fair, I did not actually bring in my batch, my parts, until like the 3rd week of May, at which point Sugi asked me to wait because Amazon just dropped the bag on them, and they had a lot of parts that they need powder coated. So I said, you know what? We made a deal. I'll just wait. Let me know when you guys are done. But from the title of this video, you should already know that this job actually took over half a year to complete. Technically speaking, it's still not finished. But I'll continue playing the footage for you so you have a better idea of how Sugi vomited over my parts. The white that you're seeing right now, that's not my powder. Okay? One thing I should add is that for every batch, I've included a booklet. I've printed a catalog of every single part contained in that batch. So what needs to be done should be as clear as day. So all this time I've been talking about this Sugi person because he's who I've dealt with since the beginning, from May all the way to like early September. Between these 2-3 months, to be honest with you, our communication is almost non-existent. You text him, he'll text back once in a blue moon. You call him, he never calls back. So by the end of August, I've already given up trying to call this guy. His excuses ranges from, like, our biggest customer is Amazon. Everyone else has to wait. So he's pretty blatant as far as throwing all the other guys, like the smaller customers, under the bus. And his other excuses would be like, our oven is down. So it's either we have to finish the Amazon orders first, or our oven is down. So from that point on, I've started reaching out to his partner, which is really his cousin. His name is Sahib. So by mid-September, September 14th, I was supposed to go in and pick up my second batch of the white parts, but only to find out that Sugi vomited over it. So it's not my powder. So when Sahib found out about how Sugi messed up my parts, he gave me some false assurances where like he'll say, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. But what he really means by that is he's going to sand it down and try to cover it up with my powder. And right out of the gate, I said, no, I want my parts chemically stripped. But Sahib insisted that, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. It's going to turn out the way it should. So he went on and sanded it down and tried to cover it up with a second coat. So 1-2 weeks later, I go into the shop. Sure enough, it turns out looking like shit. At that point, he knows that if he doesn't fix it up, I'm going to be taking these guys to court. So he sent it off. He finally sent off my parts for a chemical strip because as far as I can tell, these guys don't do chemical stripping at their location. So another 2-3 weeks have gone by. I stopped by their shop to see how things are going. The parts did go through a chemical strip, but it's not done properly. You'll see in the next footage. I'm not so sure about this one.
No. They will remove it, then they will paint it. Then they will paint it on the top.
You know, that's why, Sahib told me that you guys are going to work on it today.
Yeah.
The reason why I still came in to check it out is because I just want...
See, there's the one they already removed that off.
Yeah, this one is fine. This one is...
No, this one will be also same like that. When they sand it, this one will also...
That's why I wanted to come in to check it out first.
Wait, I will show you. Just see, they already moved it.
Yeah, like this one is good.
Yeah. So this one will be also good. I'll show you.
Let's, you know what? Let Sugi finish the rest.
Yeah.
Because probably he's going to use some, this is acetone.
Yeah,
acetone, right?
No, they use a different
paint thinner.
Yeah.
Let them finish it.
No, I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you, see, the paint is gone. So slowly they will remove that also. They will remove that also.
Hope so, yeah.
Yeah, you will get perfectly. You will
Yeah, probably they're gonna use some acetone or thinner.
Yeah, it's not this one. That's the other chemical.
Yeah, I know.
Paint stripper. That's a paint stripper.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
has to go.
They have to go. They have to remove it.
And you guys damaged my car.
Huh? Oh shit.
I mean, 6 months, job unfinished, damaged parts, spoiled parts. You know, at the end of the day, I think if I were to file this in a small claims court, it would have gone to our case already. You know, it's 6 months.
I didn't even see this, because when we watched it, they got tangled.
So 6 months. Nothing, no progress. That's what I get. 6 months, no part back, damaged parts, spoiled parts. That's why I'm telling you, man. I think if I were to bring this in court, like small claims court, I know it's gonna take me a little.
Well, we told you guys we don't want to do your job.
No.
You kept begging us, so like you need to calm down.
No, I'm not begging. No.
No, remember that day I told you we don't want to do it? How you could do? You kept begging and begging and begging.
I didn't beg.
No, you did beg.
Because we have already started. We have already started.
No, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I told you I don't want to do it. We don't have the space.
And afterwards.
What did you keep doing? You kept.
But that doesn't mean you can spoil and damage my parts.
This is an accident. This is not like
so you acknowledge that once it's in your possession, you have damaged it, right?
No. So what happened?
So what's there to argue about? What is there to argue about?
But you're getting here. Like at the end of the day, look, if you have no space,
and you know what? Because you have been ignoring me for all this time, I stopped calling you. That's why I talked to Sahib.
At the end of the day, I told you.
And you know what? At least Sahib is telling me he's going to get it done, but this is what I get here.
We washed it and everything, right? And look,
it is what it is.
But we
right?
have no space.
It is what it is, right?
No space.
We have a damaged my car.
You don't think we can repair this?
Listen, I didn't bring my parts in for you to repair my parts. I didn't bring in my parts.
I get it. I'll tell you honestly, I didn't.
I didn't bring in my parts.
I didn't see this.
So that you can,
I didn't see
I bring in my powder to get it done.
Yeah.
You used your own powder, so I have spoiled parts. And look at this. Look at this.
I didn't see this.
You know what? Let me talk to Sahib because I stopped calling you. I stopped talking to you for over a month now because you didn't get back to me. You know what? Let's see what Sahib has to say about this. Because since you're telling me, you know what? Don't talk to me. Talk to Sahib.
So that's what
you did.
When did I say that?
You did when you were doing the rips.
I said, listen, I handed
It's
you
not
off
your
the
fault. It's all Sahib.
I never said, why are you switching up things? Why are you talking like that? Be professional, man. I didn't mean, listen.
That's
okay,
the.
I know, but
listen,
listen.
I know. I have to crack up because that's like the funniest part.
Okay, crack up.
Because you're telling me to be professional after half a year. I'm waiting for this. I've been waiting for this because I need to sell a case.
Okay.
I need to talk to Sahib about this. Can you ask for him?
Yeah.
Huh?
He's busy there, but I can ask him.
But let it. You know what? Take this with you. Show him.
Okay.
So what you've seen so far are really just some of the damages. In fact, my parts have actually never been repaired. As you saw in the last video, as I was trying to put back on that side panel which Sahib's secretary dropped on camera, it no longer lines up with the case. It no longer lines up with the case because it's bent. It remains to be bent and it's nudging out of the case. Now, I could go on for another 15 minutes about these damages, but I think it's time to talk about who these people really are. Ayers Powder Coating and SideCoating are really one and the same operation. They're located in Scarborough, Ontario. Their main intersection is at Finch Avenue and Markham Road. These two companies, they operate in the same facility and are run by the Narula family. The man wearing the turban, that's Amarjit Narula, Sahib's father. He's the owner of Ayers Powder Coating. And the reason why I'm calling these people out is because I've actually dealt with most of them. The problems that I've been having, the damaged parts, the spoiled parts, the lost parts, which I didn't even talk about, he knows about them. I've picked up my last pieces on November 11th, which was last week. And the blue radiator bracket that you see in the picture with there's bubbles on the powder coat, that's actually on the third run. And it's mostly attributed to the fact that they refuse to do a proper strip. And they try to cover it, sand it down and cover it. And in a lot of cases, they bubble. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying it absolutely can't be done this way, because I've seen other people apply a second or third coat over the first after they have sanded it down to create a uniform base. I'm just saying that it can't be done this way by these guys. And it's pretty evident because I have over half a dozen pieces turning out the way like what you're looking at right now. Bottom line is, it should not turn out looking like this, because when I gave them my parts, they're all in bare metal. And the blue radiator bracket that you're looking at right now, it's actually on its third run. On the first run, Sugi messed it up. He slapped on his own white powder, at which point he's actually messed up the whole batch. I know it does cost him money to send it off for a chemical strip, but, you know, at first he wasn't even going to strip it. So if you guys have made it this far into the video, you might be asking, well, what do I need to know? Well, if after hearing what I've gone through and you guys still decide to go with 6i/Ayers Powder Coating, which, like I said, it's really one and the same operation, because it's Sahib and his father who take care of the production. They have a metal shop, couple units down. Once the production is done, they'll send it back to Sugi, that's his cousin. They'll send it back to 6i/Ayers Powder Coating. That's where all the powder coating gets done. But back to what I was saying was, if something does go wrong with your parts, say they slap on a different coat or your part starts to react to the powder and it bubbles, they're not going to chemically strip your parts. If you bring it back to Sugi, he'll probably just ignore you or berate you. And if you bring it, and if you try to talk to Sahib or his father, they'll take it back and they'll try to redo them. At best, they'll try to sand it down with a buffer, like how Amarjit tried on my parts, which you guys saw earlier. And it's probably not going to turn out the way you want it. But now that I've gotten most of my parts back, I don't even want these guys to redo my parts, because every single time I walk into the shop to pick up my parts, I either have spoiled, damaged, or simply lost parts. And I'm not even exaggerating. The second thing that you should expect is delays. But this isn't 6i specific, because it's pretty much the same with every powder coater in Toronto. They always sandbag your job. The third thing that you should expect is, say, you know, while they're working on your parts, they're in the process of finishing up your parts, and Amazon or some other big corp drops a bag on them, they'll throw you under the bus. At the moment, I still haven't decided on whether if I should take this matter to small claims court. You know, take these two boys, these two cousins, these two gangsters, as their friends call them, to court. But anyways, as a final message to the powder coating community in Toronto, in case there are powder coaters out there watching this, it's precisely these types of folks who give you guys a bad name. Initially, I had 130 pieces, which I would consider a medium-sized job. It never crossed my mind to build myself a powder coating station, a powder coating setup. But moving forward in the future, I'm not so sure if I could trust other people with my parts after this experience. So it's certainly looking like powder coaters are the new auto mechanics in the year 2021. You know, traditionally, people tend not to trust their local auto repair shops because they end up getting screwed by their auto mechanics. Well, anyways, that's all I have for you today. If I have any more updates, I'll keep you guys posted, and thank you for watching.